All right, our final section here is what happens when we're given the graph and we have to try to come up with an equation and a table of values. Now, the table of values could be easy depending on if we have a lot of points here. And to be honest, it looks like we have a whole bunch of points that we could use that are on this graph. So we'll notice that there's this point, this point, this point, this point. They're all points that work. That is really nice. Okay. Now that works if those points are nice. If they're not nice, we have -3, 4, and we have 4, -3. Those are our points that are given, and that's kind of what we're going for. And that's what we have. Now we want to probably come up with some other ones, and we may have to do that a little bit later. Now we'll talk about the table of values in a little bit. Let's look at deriving the equation first, because we can then use the equation to solve for our table of values as well. First thing that we're going to do is I'm always going to give you 2 points that are labeled on the graph, and we're going to use those 2 points on the graph to determine how the x and the y are changing. Okay, again, this is going to give us our m value. Okay, that's going to give us our m value. Now, we're looking at change in x over change in y. I'm sorry, change in y over change in x. Okay, and so when we look at this here, going from this point, this is at 4, all the way down to -3, our y value is dropping. It is going down by 7. From here to here, it goes down by 7. We could also do the last one minus the first one. That happens as well. We'll get more into that in grade 10. But for right now, just look at the graph. It's going down by 7, so it's a -7. The x is going from -3 to +4, which means it's going up by 7. And this is going to simplify to a slope, or sorry, an m value of -1. Now, our b value, okay, is made a little simpler. We just look where is it crossing. This one looks exact. So it's crossing where it equals 1. And that means our equation is y is equal to -1 x plus 1, or y equals -x plus 1. Those both work. Okay, this just has the 1 in there, and that's fine. Now, I missed a couple here. Sorry, we divide the change in y by the change in x. That's what we did right here. Okay, and then to get this term here, again, we can multiply this one by -1, and then figure what we need to get there. Multiply this by -1, what do we need to get the y? And so if we multiply the x term by the change value, or the m, and then subtract it from y, this is our constant, or 0th term. Okay, and so what we're doing, we're taking -3 times -1 equals 3, and then we're doing 4 minus 3 is equal to 1. That gives us our b. Or 4 times -1 equals -4. -3 minus -4 equals 1. Okay, so we're getting 1 in both those cases. Sorry, that was a little off. Okay, so that's how we get that 1 value. This relates to our b value. All right, now we can finish up our table of values if we want. Okay, we got our equation, finish up our table of values. I'm gonna use 1, 0, -1. -1 plus 1 is 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. -1 is 1 plus 1 is 2. And that would give us the rest of our table of values. And again, we can do whichever points we want for table values. Okay, it really doesn't matter. These points are all on here. They're points that I gave already, and you can use those in order to solve. Okay. That is the end of that part. Take a look at question number 3 on LR4. Finish that up. That is the end of the assignment. Okay. Make sure again that you are showing how you came up with the equation, and then show your table of values on question 3.